Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your Sunday to join me. I really appreciate it. I want to be a happy reminder to you guys that unions are in everyone's best interest, and I think that it's important to recognize how important unions are and where they are actually going to benefit um, the largest amount of people moving forward. So again, my name's Albert. This is Vlogs About Nothing. I'm especially happy that you've joined me because for the next few years, I'd say at least 4, a whole lot of nothing is going to get done. So this is right up our alley. We are going to continue to talk about things that are so unlikely to happen that, I mean, at best, it could be considered a fantasy, and at its absolute worst, it could be considered something that is impossible. Especially when all things are considered, as it particularly concerns our leadership within our national governance. And so, yeah, I mean, it happens. I guess it has happened. So, let's talk about unions because let's talk about something that isn't going to matter or that is not going to change. Amazon there's a distribution warehouse in New York, and Amazon is attempting that particular area. They're attempting to become unionized. Now, for a long time, they've actually filed all of the paperwork. They've made sure everything is within compliance, and Amazon still hasn't recognized their union status because the moment they do, that's the moment they'll also have to potentially recognize other unions that are being formed and developed all over the country. Now, here's the thing. Amazon and Starbucks and Walmart, it's just so silly to be anti-union. It's got to be one of the dumbest things that I think civilized people can do is to argue against organized labor. I mean, again, I think it's a stupid thing to do, like to not look both ways when you cross the street. You feel me? And it's a stupid thing to not genuinely care about how workers are treated. It's like borderline, like, insanity. I mean, I'm not sure. I do talk to myself in my room on a broken phone every night, so I'm not sure if standards are something that I should throw around here. I'm just simply saying that for a person to argue against organized labor, I don't see where they're coming from. I don't see how it's justifiable to not pay people what they deserve, or moreover, it's not just about the pay. Forget the pay. Let's just, let's not worry about the pay, right? Let's just talk about the actual safety procedures or the lack thereof as it concerns the employment that is offered by these companies. And that's the thing, right? Is that work in general around large boxes and just in general people, I mean, it can be an unsafe place. And so it's kind of in everyone's best interest to make sure that, especially factory type jobs, warehouse jobs, you want to pay these guys, and you also don't want to overwork them, right? That's the other thing. Is I love how non-working class America somehow celebrates overtime as it's like this reward. Like, you understand that to get overtime, you got to work like full time first, right? And then, like, at the end of the completion of that full-time cycle, that's when and only when you get paid overtime. So, like, I'm not I'm not sure if people that haven't had to do that understand what that means. And I find that it's pretty insulting to say that again. It's like to use it as some sort of like incentive. Like, You shouldn't be able to work overtime. Like, that's, as much as that sounds weird, and it shouldn't, because I'm not trying to take away anyone's extra money, although, quote unquote, it's only extra after you've been deemed to be there full time already all week. And, I mean, just because we're all our best selves with no rest, no actual time to sleep or anything, I'm pretty sure that's a machine, and I'm pretty sure that that's what we're not. So, yeah, I'm not, again, like, coming from no other perspective other than the one of common sense. You would think that by now people would be more accepting of unions, and people are simply not. They just aren't. I mean, Amazon is literally, I just, they're, who Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. I can't. I mean, it just, the guy's bald. He's starting to get ripped. He's an old dude. You feel me? Like, he has a spaceship. I don't know. I'm just saying that that's like some Lex Luthor stuff, right? I mean, it'd be more appropriate, I guess, to call Musk Lex Luthor, but Musk still has some hair, and I'm not sure where that hair came from, right? And I don't think any of us are, but I mean, good for him, you know? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of weird to see Jeff Bezos with hair, though, right? It'd be kind of like seeing Vin Diesel with hair. It's just, or The Rock with hair, right? It's just, they look good bald. That's good. I look terrible bald. I look like Neo coming out of the little suction thing tube from the Matrix. Like when he gets unplugged and he's all skinny and bald. That's what I would look like. But so yeah, I just, unions are long overdue, and again, I can't think of anyone under the age of 40 who's have anything ever bad to say about a union. Like, seriously, it blows my mind that places like Starbucks, I mean, and a lot of they're not unionized. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point of having manufacturing jobs? What's the point of having good jobs at all when there's no labor protection? And I guess that's answers itself. There's no good jobs because there's no labor protection. They're like correlatable. They go hand in hand. Can't have one without the other, kind of a thing. And I think now more than ever, it's just important that what jobs we have, we really do our best to protect. And by protect, I mean actually make it so that large companies have to care about the safety of their employees and their staff. Otherwise they won't care if they're not made to care through positive organizational diplomacy as it concerns chartering and forming and maintaining union status, and being a part of collective bargaining and informing ourselves as to what these particular terms mean, and they do matter. And it's not just a job tomorrow we're trying to address, but moreover, an economic opportunity that we don't want to see go away as the future progresses. Again, because as we're going to see quickly moving into the future here, any sort of job that can be kept and maintained is actually a net positive for a lot of communities that, again, are going to inevitably follow a different model. But I think it's important to protect labor. I think it's important to protect young workers. I think it's important to talk about these things so that we can prepare ourselves for a future that will not have as many jobs, and that the few jobs that are available will in fact need to be tailored to actually provide an opportunity for a person to live a life. That's all. And I think that discussing unions and checking out stuff like the link in the description below, which talks about this stuff way better than I can, way better than I do. But again, I'm just the dude that talks about nothing every night. You don't worry about me. I just it's important that workers out there and people that are still interested in having work, right, which is a good part of the population, that like they're protected. That's all. No laissez-faire here. It's really important that workers are protected, be it the entry level positions or high executive level positions. It's just a mandatory. And time will tell. I think, the Canadian postal workers on strike right now. We had a lot of the port workers on strike here just a few months ago in America. Unions are strong, and I hope that they continue to maintain their strength and only get stronger moving on into the future, because that's what we will need from union leadership. All right. Bye.